Hey everyone, this is Rachel Youngson from usepLR.com and WholeFoodPLR.com. We are here with our weekly PLR Power Hour. This is where we ask questions, get resources, and talk about ways to use PLR to grow our business. Today we are going to help one of our usepLR community guests. We're going to look at her site and take some evaluations and do a group discussion on how we can help her to get this site more profitable, get more traffic to the site, and just how to use PLR to kind of help with all of that too. Before we get started though, I wanted to let you guys know a couple of quick things. First of all, if anyone has a Warrior Plus account, will you please just throw something in the chat box while we're talking today? The reason is because one of our community members is looking for someone to joint venture with on Warrior Plus. She doesn't have an account, but she has done all the legwork, she's created the product, and she essentially doesn't have the time or the energy to do the Warrior Plus side. So she would be more than happy to venture with somebody. Your cut, of course, would be negotiable because she's done all the legwork, but easy commissions if you have that account. So just let me know. Secondly, I wanted to let you guys know that in a couple of weeks, I don't have the exact date yet, but we're looking at middle of July. Myself and Charlene Burke are launching a PLR training intensive. These are all products that have been sold before, but we have basically bundled them all together, and we are going to sell them $220, $240, something like that, but we're going to sell it all for $17. And we are allowing everyone who's in our community only to promote it as affiliates if they'd like. If you think that it would serve your audience, it might be a good way for you to get some commissions. So keep an eye out on the Use PLR members group for that. We have a thread for that, and also if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Okay, so today we have a really special guest. She's newer to our community, and I'm really happy to have her here. Her name is Ruth Ann. And Ruth Ann, hi, how are you? Can I go ahead and unmute you, sweetheart? Well, let me hit the right button. That might help. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
It's really good to have you here. So for those of you who don't know, this conversation with Ruth Ann started in the group. We were talking about, I think it was our wins thread, and we started talking about her website a little bit, and essentially like Jen Brockman and myself and Ruth Ann, we were talking so much that I thought, you know what, maybe if we all sat down together and we had kind of a meeting of the minds, maybe we could really help this to kind of take shape a little bit better. And so this Power Hour today, I intentionally didn't tell anyone outside of our group about it. Usually we promote it everywhere because I wanted to make sure that the feedback Ruth Ann gets today is from folks that I've worked with before, folks that I trust, folks who are in our community, folks that she has a way to reach out to after this Power Hour. So, all right, Miss Ruth Ann, so you have two websites. Did you want me to pull them? We can do one of two things. Either I can share the screen with you, you can share your screen and pull them up, or I can pull them up and you can explain everything to us.
Okay, so I actually have them up, if you want me to do that.
Sure. So you should see a box in the middle of your screen. This is your Zoom box where you see my image. And okay, if you hover over the bottom, there should be a strip that comes up. And you'll
Yes, I've done that. I have shared.
Perfect. Great.
So I may be old at 74, but I have been on Zoom before.
Oh, hey, you know what? I always walk people through it. No, you're definitely not old. Don't think that at all. Okay, so you have two you have two sites on aging.
There are.
Okay.
And I have them, just one second, there's a big combine going by. I have to close my office door.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
Happens when you live in cattle country.
Oh, that's cool.
So both of my sites are related to aging, but they have different, in my mind, different purposes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the one site, Healthy Wealthy Aging, which is, I think, what you see on the screen now.
Yes.
Okay, so it was intended to help families in what I classify as the sandwich generation. So it was people of your age having to look after people my age, and at the same time having to look after their children. So that was a focus of that, was to help them understand that and to help them help their parents do what I want to do, and that is die in my own home. So the focus of that was really to teach people about doing that and what they needed to do. As some background, I may be 74, but I'm also the youngest of 7 siblings. And I watched and cared for and watched how they died, which was the premise for starting this website.
Yeah.
Because I saw how much pain it caused. So that's the one website. The other website, which is this one, and it was really to help people like myself who are old. We're still engaged, we're online, and a lot of them needed a way to either connect with their community without actually leaving home, or they needed to find a way to make some money. And that was what I focused on, why I called it Savvy Seniors and Doing Aging Different. It was to help them find a way to earn money or do something that would keep them engaged as they got older. So I guess that's it in a nutshell.
I like that. I like that. You are right. You are very right when you said that they serve 2 totally different audiences. And,
Yes.
you know, I am part of what you call that sandwich generation. And it's, you know, my husband and I, we have these conversations about, should we move in a few years? Because at some point, our parents are not going to be able to take care of themselves. You know, they're going to be, my husband lost his father last year and his mother is having some health issues now. And it's kind of started that conversation in my mind about, okay, well, this is what happened. So those are 2 really, really great topics. So if I understand correctly, your primary purposes, the 2 head herders, I guess I should say, that you are having when we were talking about this in the group, are first your email system, and secondly, getting traffic here. Is that correct? Or am I off base? Please let me know.
No, you're not. I mean, my traffic started to come primarily, I think, from the 2 books I wrote. Mm-hmm. That were sold on Amazon, and they were ebooks. I have to change them into real books, I know, but a lot of people started coming when I first published those. One was called Staying Home in Your 70s, 80s, and Beyond, and the other was called Aging Safely at Home, Not in a Home. So Healthy Wealthy Aging was the longest one, and it started to get a lot of traffic. I've never been, I've tried so many email providers, I've never been able to get it to work on my site. And it was on Healthy Wealthy Aging. That was where I primarily had it. And I use MailChimp.
Which of course is now causing you huge issues. So if I understood the conversation with you and Jen, you are moving into another program that Jen recommended. Is that right?
I am. I have been watching the videos on it. Mm-hmm. I'm a slow learner. I also have another issue. I'm not sure if I mentioned. I have a brain issue. I fell 3 times and hit my head, and the damage caused me to the point that I have very short-term memory loss. Like, I can't change screens and remember what I did on the last screen to do it on the new screen. I can't remember what I did yesterday. I've gone to the point I can't even remember what notebook I wrote a note in. So it's a challenge. It's nothing for anyone else to have to bear with, but I mean, I just want to say that's a challenge. So it takes me longer to learn something and a shorter amount of time to forget that I learned it. But it is what it is.
You must be a great fan of writing things down and making lists and that kind of thing.
Yeah, if you can see behind me, there's lists and boards all over there. And my granddaughter will say to me, Grandma, you're a great list maker. You just have to remember to look at them.
Well,
anyway,
I think personally that you should, before we even look at anything else, I want to say that I think it's amazing that you're doing this. I say it for a couple of reasons. Not only because I know that when you're at the age of retirement and that type of thing, it's very hard to kind of do something different. But what you're doing is you're trying to help other people who are in the same stage of life as you are. And I think that's amazing and that's wonderfully generous. But also to do it with an injury, I mean, I'm all of us in this, well, some of us in this group, you know, we have different kinds of injuries that make it hard for us, but to my knowledge, no one else here has that type of an injury. And I know that something like that really limits the brain functions, you know, that's got to be, that's a lot to work with. So I think everyone will agree with me when I say kudos to you and welcome to our group. I'm really happy that you're here, and I think we'll definitely get you in the right direction. So
I think the irony of the whole thing is maybe things come around to bite you because I spent 40 years negotiating oil and gas contracts around the world.
Wow, that's impressive.
No, not now.
I do want to let you know that we're getting some feedback in the chat, and there are 2 people in our group whose names you may want to make note of. The first is Audrey.
Audrey?
Her last name is, I'm sorry, Audrey, if I say it wrong, Humansha. It's H-U-M-A.
I can see it on the screen.
Oh, okay, great. And the second is Carol B. So both of these folks are in similar niches to yours, so they would be great connections to have. Not so that I don't believe either of them have affiliate programs, but in the same sense, as you guys are all building up, I always encourage folks to A, have their own products, and B, start affiliate programs at some point. So they would be great for you to start building relationships with.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Sure. So now back to the email situation. So you are running through the videos on Mailer. Do you have anything? You don't have anything to give away yet, is that right? Or do you?
I actually have 3 books and 1 course that I give away.
Okay. Do you have anything that folks pay for yet?
Only the books that I sell on, I tried to sell my course first, and I decided, well, because it was the first course of several, that I should give away the first one since I haven't been able to sell it anyway. Mm-hmm. And the other ones were ebooks that were kind of spin-offs from my books that I wrote. So one of the spin-offs is really a workbook that has to do with, I hate to say it, getting everything in your house prepared for when you die. One of my biggest seller books is called, the subtitle is Clean Your House Before You Go. The title is A Guide to Dealing with All the Family Treasures so your children won't have to. And it's really a workbook about working through everything to get it ready.
So I'm assuming that if we go over to if you wouldn't mind going over to your Savvy Seniors, I'm assuming that all of this is showcased on your main page? Because I mean, I may have missed it, but I didn't see it yet the other day, and you've done a lot of really cool stuff. I would be bragging from the rooftops about this.
I'm not sure if it's actually on there. I know that I put them on, let me see, page. I don't think it's on there.
Okay. Would you do me a favor? Would you mind just going, you can you don't have to log out of the back end if you don't want to, but I want to see, and I want everyone else to see the main look of your site, the way that a visitor would see it, if you don't mind.
Oh, you wanted, so this is a healthy, wealthy aging. Did you want doing aging different?
Yeah, let's start with doing aging different, because that's where you've been doing the books and everything, right? Is kind of, that would all kind of fall under this website. Is that right?
Yeah.
Savvy Seniors. Okay. So the first thing I notice is the doing aging different is different than the Savvy Seniors.
Yeah.
So I would try to make that the same. And folks, please feel free to throw something in the chat if you have any other if you have any thoughts while we're going through this. Just so everyone knows, Audrey just told me her last name is like a sneeze.
Oh.
Machu. Audrey, you're great. Okay, so
I'm trying to think if I actually have them. I'll just do one thing first to see if I actually have them so you can see the books on another site.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think it's really important that, so when someone comes to your website, my understanding is that the time span is roughly 7 seconds. Angel is our marketer, so if you think something different, Angel, please let me know. But I think it's something like 7 seconds you have to capture somebody. And if that person has never seen you or heard about you or talked to you before, then that 7 seconds becomes really, really critical. So
okay, so this is my author site. So that's where my books are.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's not the greatest site either.
Okay, I would make sure that any books that are related to the aging process, anything that would go in with that doing aging website is listed on there. Even if you don't have a digital download, even if it's just a link for them to grab it through Amazon Kindle or something like that. Oh, right. Angel just said that she's heard it was 3 seconds that you have to wow somebody. And she's like I said, she's our marketer. So she's
smiling. It may not look the greatest, Angel.
Okay, so
all of my books are in the same genre, vein, or whatever. They all had to do with getting older.
Okay.
You know, I don't focus on anything about trying to make yourself look pretty or trying to take herbs, or mine is all about mindset.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna take the screen back, and I'm going to pull up your sites on my end, so that we can kind of navigate around here and serve what make sure everybody's looking at the same thing. Jen said that you should decide what you want your visitors to do and then make it easy for them to do it. And she's very right, and that's really important. You always want to be sure that someone knows what their next step is. So like when they read your blog post, do you want them to go to another blog post? Do you want them to go to a free report? Do you want them to, you know, if they sign up for your email list, they get to this free report? And then of course, once you have that person in your email list or in your social media, then you pull them into your funnel. If they're in social media, you try to pull them into a free gift so that they can come into your email funnel. If they get a free report, you pull them into your mail funnel that way. Let me pull up your sites here for everybody.
Yeah, because I think most of my blogs are really just been about informing and me lecturing, probably.
Hey guys, while I'm doing this, does anyone have any other thoughts for Ruth Ann?
I was just going to say, just for general visibility purposes, because I know she mentioned that in the beginning she got traction just from her Amazon book, so it may be that her topic is something people search for. If so, if you, whenever you publish a video on YouTube, because it's owned by Google, it's really great with SEO, and so a lot of times when you post it, 4 to 5 videos, when someone types in those words, your video will pop up, and that video doesn't necessarily have to be you talking. It can just be a text video or some graphics that just talks about the point of your book or something like that. So that could be one method if you wanted to use to drive traffic to your course or your blog.
That's great, Angel. Thank you. So did you catch that, Ruth Ann?
I couldn't quite hear.
Okay, so what Angel's saying is videos are super, super powerful, and you can put some videos up here, maybe a video series, maybe like 4 or 5 videos on your blog, and that way when folks make sure that it's something that people are searching for that has to do with what you're doing, and then they'll find that when they're doing their Google searches, and then you can get organic traffic that way.
Okay, because I have like probably 15 videos up on YouTube, but they're in private mode. Does that make a difference?
Yeah, you're going to want those to be public.
And have them on, is that what I'm hearing?
I'm sorry?
And have them on my website as well?
Yes, have them on your website and have them public. So you'll embed them. Angel,
Right.
if you have a different thought, let me know. Angel's at the zoo today, everybody, so let's all get a little jealous of that woman. Yeah, so embed those videos into your website, as long as they have to do with your website. So I'm assuming these videos are all follow along the same thing, the aging gracefully type of thing, mindset.
Yeah, they talk about dealing with fear and remorse and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, that stuff's really important for these 2 sites. Of course, the remorse would be more for, I think, the sandwich generation. You were saying that you're the 6th or 7th child, and I'm assuming that you, when you lost your parents, you maybe didn't have such a hand in that because you were the youngest at the time.
Oh, actually, no, the remorse that I have that I speak about really has to do with seniors not getting caught up in remorse. That drags them down into despair. So I talk about dealing with remorse, about what you haven't done, what you should have done, what you couldn't do. And I want them to change their mindset into what they can do.
That's a great blog topic too.
Yeah, I write about all the stuff all over the place. I just never get it in one spot that can, I don't know.
Okay, no problem. So what we're going to do is, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go into YouTube and you're going to make all of those private videos public. Okay?
Yeah.
Then you're going to embed those, create blog posts around them, and embed them, those videos, into the blog post.
Okay.
You're going to continue to watch those mailer videos.
Okay.
And we're going to have a, can you remind me, do you have a free report for this Doing Aging Different website? A free report that falls right in here? Something digital? Not something on Amazon.
No, I have them on Gumroad.
Okay. So you do have a shopping cart then?
Pardon?
So you do have a shopping cart?
Well, I've got it on Gumroad, but it doesn't go anywhere. It just sits on Gumroad.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do with it. Like all of my stuff is on Gumroad.
Hey Jen, Gumroad, that's like that will serve as a shopping cart, right? So like, can she sell? Okay. So I'm assuming that she can also do, I'm assuming she can also do a free product and then just link that into her mailer or whatever to pull people in.
Yeah, Ruth Ann, what I'm hearing is there's two different ways that you could be doing this. If you have a digital product, whether it's a report or an ebook or whatever you want to offer people, you can use Mailerlight to deliver that. Like they can sign up, you can create the form and it will sit on your website for people to sign up to, and then you can deliver the digital product on the back side of that once they've signed up. Or if you already have stuff at Gumroad, you can deliver it through there, because that's actually a shopping cart option. I've worked with Gumroad quite a bit too, so
I've got like
you can do
5.
that either way.
I've got about 5 things on Gumroad that are free.
Okay. Well, what Rachel's trying to say here is you pick one thing that helps get people into your funnel or onto your list. You just start with one thing. That way you don't have to overwhelm yourself, and that would be the first step, is pick one of those and then figure out where you want to set that up, one of those 2 options. Is that what you're thinking, Rachel?
Yep, that's exactly it, you mind reader. Yeah, that's exactly it.
I've done my fair share of coaching too. I know.
Gumroad won't build me a list, will it?
Actually, they do have a mailing option built in. If you only want to use Gumroad because it's simpler, it's not using 14 different things, you can do that. They do have a built-in mailing list.
Okay. What's the most important thing for me to do though if I'm going to try and do anything with PLR for my other people that I want to be able to learn how to make money?
Oh, this is the fun part. All right, so PLR, you can use that in a whole bunch of different ways. So if you get, a lot of these folks have like bigger PLR packs that come with like a report and articles and a bunch of different things together. Sorry, I'm holding in a sneeze. And what you can do is you can use all of that for different forms of content. So for example, the articles can be used as your blog posts. They can lead into the free report. The report can lead into a nurture sequence of like maybe 5 days, and then you promote a product. You can also turn the PLR things into their own products. You can change the format of the PLR, turn articles into a report, turn reports into how-to videos, create like this massive product from this little single product. And then
I have about 18 of those, Rachel.
Okay.
My problem I found with them was the fact that they don't really, the ones I have that I thought would relate to my audience, kind of don't. At least they don't speak the way I speak.
Now, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So they're just the ones I bought. There was one on mindset, there was one on memory, but they all speak to a younger audience, and I was really having a difficult time. It seemed like I had to rewrite everything to make it talk to my audience. But I think there's two different things that I'm probably talking about. I'm talking about PLRs to help my audience, but I'm also talking about being able to have my audience be able to promote self on savvy seniors to help themselves. Can you make that clear or not?
Okay, so PLR to help your audience is what we would be able to really help you focus on. But the second portion of that is that you want seniors to be able to promote their own things on your site.
No, promote somebody else's. I don't think a lot of seniors are up for really creating something, but if they saw something, I'd like them to be able to say, oh, I can make some money off of this by telling other people about it.
Okay, so essentially you want to promote other folks' affiliate programs then, so that your audience can then sign up for that. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. So as far as the PLR to help your audience, what we're going to be looking for is PLR that deals with mindset and seniors. First thing you can do is, of course, do a simple Google search. If you choose to do it this way, I always recommend that you ask members of the group or make a post in the group if you don't know the person that you're getting that PLR from, because you don't want to take a chance that you're going to get a piece of PLR and it's going to be yucky and it's not going to serve you very well, or some PLR sellers aren't really very reputable, and you want to be sure that you, of course, stay away from them. So I would just do a Google search for, let's see, senior. We could just start with senior PLR and start from there. Here's a good one. It's senior fitness PLR. That may work well with your no, I guess it wouldn't. Let's see. Senior assisted living fitness PLR. That might work well with your sandwich audience. Do you think? Because that would give them something that they could use with the people that they're helping, their parents, to help them to stay active. I know, like, when my father-in-law, before he passed away, he had diabetes, and a huge issue was that he wasn't able to move like he should have been able to move, and he needed a lot of help. And just having that blood flow going, just making bicycles and that kind of thing would have really, really helped him a lot.
Okay.
I mean, obviously it's your site. Do whatever you feel comfortable with. We have some stretching for seniors. We also have, as far as mindset, I would go to toolsformotivation.com. That site is run by Justin Popovic, and he is the personal development / self-help / mindset guy. The go-to, I guess I should say. That's all that he does. So he has this huge store over here.
Oh yeah, I think I've been here before. But he changed. I noticed he changed. So you can't really buy just one. It was like you had to join a membership now.
Yeah. I believe he moved to a credit system, I think. I think he moved to a credit system, which, if that doesn't work for you, completely understandable. Someone has a I Am for Seniors PLR pack, and I want to say it's Tiffany Lambert from PLR Mini Mart, but I'm not 100%. And what that would do is that would serve really well for your community that's looking for ways to make money online. And one thing that you could do with that is you could lead that into one way that you can make money is as an affiliate, and explain to them how the whole affiliate thing works. And then that's a natural segue for them to come to that list or those posts or however you want to promote different affiliate programs for them to sign up for. That all would flow naturally. You know, at first they would realize I'm a senior, I want to make money, this is where I fall. The easiest way for me to do it is promote things as an affiliate. How do I do that? What's an affiliate? Take them there and then take them to the programs. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. As far as where to put your free report, I just wanted to show you real quick. So over on useplr.com, I have these, I have all these free reports over on the right-hand side. And what that does is that pulls them right into a shopping cart where they get the product, but they get it for free. Now, I believe Jen said that you can still build your list in Gumroad. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that she'll be more than happy to help us figure that out on a forum. However, I always personally prefer using the shopping cart method to pull people in, because for me at least, with my shopping cart now, I have their name, I have a way to contact them, I have their email address. It's just, it all works very easily now for me. If someone with this particular shopping cart system, if someone promotes something and this person this person signed up for this through somebody else's promotion, that affiliate automatically gets tied to that person. You know, so it works better for me. Let's see what everybody else.
I like the mailer thing. I think having that set up I could do more than I could do with Gumroad, right? Like Gumroad will just sell my products and maybe give me a list, but to be able to keep in contact with those people would work better from mailer, I think, which I had hoped MailChimp would have done, but it won't. Am I making myself clear, or am I talking?
Yeah. So Jen, if I'm understanding you correctly, Jen, she'd be able to do all of this with Gumroad. Is that right? You can feel free to hop on if you want, while I kind of catch up with the chat.
Yeah, okay, so I just actually wrote that in there. You can, okay, so if you set up a product, even if it's for free in Gumroad, you can send them through that to get the free download. And then you can set up a mailing list that goes only to the people who claimed that. And then even beyond that, you can use that to communicate with your mailing list, with all of them. However, Gumroad, the main drawback for Gumroad is that oftentimes their emails, even their sale emails, like once they bought something, they often go to spam in people's email clients. So I still, I mean, it's a great like all-in-one system. If you want to be able to sell things, even if you're doing it for free, it's great all-in-one, but that is kind of a negative if you want people to be able to get your emails. So Mailerlight's pretty good. And I don't think that they're overly complicated either. I don't use stuff if it's overly complicated. So I really think, I mean, you can't sell things through Mailerlight, but you can still offer like your free, your free reports and stuff for people to pick them up that way.
Right, and I could still then give them the link.
Right.
And just to get them on my mail list is fine, but if the link to buy something happens to go to Gumroad, it wouldn't matter, would it?
No, absolutely not. You can still sell stuff through there if you want.
Yeah, no, I really liked what I was seeing in the Mailerlight, because at least for the way my brain works, I could follow the video and see and there were so many.
Yes.
I needed to be on two screens to be able to go back and forth.
No, I totally get that. Yeah, and Angel brought up something too. Mailerlight has built-in sales pages. So there's several different ways that you can create the place for your customers to opt in.
Okay, yeah, I really like that. I was watching it all last night. I've forgotten, of course. I need to be on my computer to be able to do it. But it did look like it was a better solution than what I have right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
And that's what's so important, is just making those steps in the right direction. Taking the small chunks. Angel had a really great suggestion, and Jen backed it up. I didn't even think of it. What about if you give your visitors a business kit so that they can learn how to start their own at-home business or their own PLR business? But I mean, I personally feel like PLR could be a part of that, starting an at-home business. But I wonder, though, I mean, there's so many different things you can do online that maybe a business kit that says something like, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, this is who I'm trying to reach, this is why I understand why it's so important to make money at this point in your life. And then again, that's a natural segue to promote. What is an affiliate program? Promoting things as an affiliate. Do you want to be do you want to have, like Angel said, a PLR business? Do you want to do a service-based business, which obviously I don't think a lot of folks would like to do if you're retiring, but just different ways that they can do that. A lot of the IM PLR out there is really good, but you will definitely, I believe, have to tweak it to your niche.
Yeah, because I was thinking, as I look at all the stuff that I do, not everybody wants to do it, but still, it's like creating low content books. It's like writing a book, leaving your legacy, because I write a lot about that on my blog, right? Mm-hmm. There's different ways to leave a legacy. It's either a video or it's hard copy. There's so many different ways that people can actually use them, not only for their family, but to make money from, like creating a journal and put it up on Amazon, which I do all the time.
Well, I mean, and we have Jen Brockman, who's the Mailerlight expert. She also does journals and planners for a living. And she's showed us, we have a free training on how they can take that and journal PLR and modify it and sell it on Etsy and Amazon and all that fun stuff. And I mean, that's free. You could definitely use that link to walk them through it. I mean,
yeah,
I mean,
I want stuff that I don't have to teach, but I want to promote other people that can teach it to these people, right? Mm-hmm. Like I'm not looking at being the total solution. I'm looking at being an avenue or a roadway to the solution.
Right. Yeah. So to follow up on what Rachel was saying, I like kind of giving the introduction of who you are, what you're about, why you want to offer this solution to them, and then just naturally segueing into some sort of a report or something that kind of starts to show them all of the options of what they could be doing. You know, maybe not all of them, but a good selection of them. And yeah, like what's being said, you can link to different affiliate programs from within those suggestions.
Right.
Because then they can take those suggestions and follow the ones that they find interesting.
Right. And that was primarily my goal.
Mm-hmm.
But I hadn't found, I mean, your suggestions are great. I didn't know that stuff was out there, that I was able to do it. I didn't just want to send them to a stretching video that they could take, or, you know, I was looking at something that took them a little farther.
Yeah. Well, and you could create you could create more than one thing as well, because there again, once you get them into the list, through that first product, through that first report, then you can make it more specific. You can come up with a few more different reports on those more specific lines of thinking, right? And you can do that using PLR or promoting PLR or both.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it just provides even more opportunity for profit for you, but it helps keep teaching them a little bit without you having to do all of the work of teaching.
No, I'm getting too old for that. I'm getting tired. It took me 4 months to actually write a course that I sell on Udemy to teach people how to do something in supply chain, which I work on. But there was two things I've been resistant to, and mainly because of my age, is doing something that required me to do a lot of stuff on my own repetitively. It was like somebody said, well, you can start a membership site. Well, I'm quite frankly too old to start a membership site. I would hate to all of a sudden drop dead and leave people in the lurch. And it's too exhausting for me to do that. So I can help people and then they can go off and take their own path is what I'm looking for.
And yet you don't have to lose them once they've gone off on that path. You can still, that's kind of what I was getting at, is you can still create, you know, a few more direction. Sorry, I'm struggling for the words, but you can keep them in the loop and still keep your profit center working,
right,
by just kind of following those paths that you start them on.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why I had the two sites.
Mm-hmm.
Like Wealthy Aging was really, I would sell them, what's the term I keep hearing, done for you stuff, like the PLRs that would help them learn how to stretch, that will help them on my books, that will teach them how to create lists and get prepared for doing stuff they can't do now.
Right.
And the other site was to help people learn how to look after themselves financially. Although I'm the worst financial person in the world, but to either have an avenue where they could make some money or learn how to make some money.
Right.
Yeah. So that was the purpose of the two sites.
Okay. I think most of us have more than one site.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now I don't feel so alone.
So before we wrap up here, everyone, two quick things. First, I want to look at each of these websites and get everybody's feedback on what they think she should do with the websites. But before we do that, business ideas for things that a senior could do. I'm thinking they could start things that you could talk to your audience about. They could start a PLR business. They could promote things as an affiliate. They could create planners and journals. They can use PLR to create physical products, which is something that Amy Harrop did something with us on, and feel free to PM me because I don't have the link right now, but it was one of our power hours, and that's something easy that they could do. You could create mugs. That's a training that Rachel Rafe does that I don't personally do, but I know more than one person who's had great success with it. And these are all simple things that they can do, and we can find you people that are trustworthy that you can send them to. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes, it
Okay.
all makes sense.
Great. So
I won't be able to remember that.
You know what, honey? I am writing it all down too, so I'll send it to you in a message when we're done here.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, no problem.
I find I can't even write fast anymore and then either read it or remember what I tried to write.
Don't worry at all. We got you covered. Okay, so looking at the Doing Aging Differently blog. When I come here, to me, there's, it's kind of like cluttered. Like, I'm looking at this, and a lot of what people look at, you have to capture them above the fold. So that means that when I click on a page, so for instance, when someone comes to use PLR, they've got stuff here. They have things to entice them above the fold before they have to scroll at all. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so
I don't know how you get sites to look like that, though.
We can help you out in the group. Give me just a second. Something's going on with our chat, guys, and I can't get to it. That's frustrating. Yeah, so we can definitely try to help you with that in the group. I'm not really the best at websites. I use Thrive Themes, which does a lot of my work for me. But like I said, we can all definitely look at it. Okay, so the other thing I see, and Angel, please, especially you, since you do this kind of stuff a lot, let me know if you have any different thoughts. But like the video and the blog, like it doesn't really, there's a lot of space here as far as, so let me see what I have here. So do you see how this picture is embedded here and the words are encompassing it? Your video should be pretty much the same thing in the sense of there's a paragraph here, then there's the video is right here, and everything is tight. Like things don't seem to, they're not very tight here. So if I'm scrolling down and I'm looking at this, I'm kind of like, what am I supposed to do now? And the video itself is, you know, huge.
Yeah, that was just an embed from YouTube. I never figured out how to make YouTube videos smaller.
No worries. I think that you can actually, when you get the embed code, I think you can adjust it on your own. I think you can adjust it manually. Like when you're looking at that code, I believe you can change those numbers and that will adjust the size. Angel, can you shake your head? Is that right? Or am I picking things up from nowhere? Yeah, okay. Well, maybe I'm picking things up from nowhere.
Is this a WordPress.org site or a WordPress.com site? There are so many.
What's the difference?
So one is you pay like WordPress.com every month and you just log in and they already did it for you. The other one is you pay a hosting like GoDaddy or HostGator every month and you install the WordPress file onto your domain so you have more control over your design.
So my websites are hosted at GoDaddy.
Okay, so yeah, so I would say I would just really installing like the theme that Rachel uses or the Divi theme, because when the first look at a website is really important. It doesn't have to be, you know, fancy or but just being able to have that banner as soon as they get there that tells them about, you know, your mission or your title. I think it'll really make a huge difference in how they navigate your site. Because like right now, I wouldn't know what to do, and your ideas and your brands are so good in my opinion because they're so niche. But I just think it's not like your website doesn't, in my opinion, quickly enough show what you're doing. And if you install a theme, I think it'll be a lot easier because you can make a banner similar to Rachel's in Canva, or we can make it for you, like no problem, in like 10 minutes. And I think it'll make a big difference in how things are organized on your site.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. It doesn't tell anybody what to do, but as I said, that was never my purpose when I started it. The purpose is, I've learned that each website has to have a purpose, and right now mine doesn't, I guess.
I think it has, for me, I think it has a purpose. It's just letting people know as soon as they get here, this is what this site is about. And I mean, like we said, you've done some really cool things. You've got some really cool things already in your arsenal. So I would love to see that showcased. And I love Angel's idea of having some kind of a business kit. I know if I was just laid off or just retired and I was looking for a way to make money, I had no idea what to do, I would definitely download a free business kit. Even if that initial kit was nothing more than checklists. And you then sold them to onto an actual bigger product at a later point.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
So,
never came to my mind.
you know what? It's okay. And I want to say before we wrap up that you've dealt with this hot seat really well. It's not easy to have everything that you work so hard for being depicted and scrutinized, but all of us have gone through it. It's not fun, but that's the way we grow. So you've done really well with it all. I have everything that we talked about listed for you, and I will send that to you in a PM. And what I really would love to see is once you go through this list of what we first started talking about today, then we can go from there. I think that would be a great next step. That's
great. I now have an action list. Wonderful.
An action list, and then we'll go from there.
Wonderful.
And to speak to what you said earlier about being, Angel, I'm gonna mute you, sweetheart. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. It's all right. It's all right. She's embarrassed. That's funny.
Oh, no.
To speak to what you said earlier about being an avenue, I think that's wonderful. And I just wanted to say really quickly that when I started my Use PLR Facebook community, I was very, very nervous. Even when I started these power hours, which I've been doing for a little over a year now, I was extremely nervous because I felt like, what can I teach people? What can I do for you? And what I found and what I think you'll find too is that we're all on these different rungs of what we know, and we're all on these different rungs of learning. The person who coaches me has a coach herself, and if you go up, I'm sure that person has a coach too. So it's just, what you already know and what you've already experienced is very, very valuable. And I think as you build this community, like with us here on the Power Hour, you see everybody helps me because I always say, I don't know everything. I don't know marketing. I don't know journals. That's why I have brilliant people who come here and work with all of us, So I think what you're doing is really great. So we're going to go through I'll send that to you. You'll go through the action list, and then we can touch base after that. If it works for you.
I appreciate everyone's comments and helps. I really do.
Of course.
Need all the help I can get.
Oh, hey, don't worry about it. And then you can create a discussion post in the group to have us look, and we can kind of tweak, or feel free to send me a PM, or feel free to tag me in anything. Feel free to tag Jen and Angel. I'm throwing them out there, but I know that they're always really good with Angel with the marketing side of everything, and Jen knows Gumroad and Mailer. So, okay.
What that means to tag somebody.
Okay, it just means like if you're typing something in the Facebook group and you start typing in the name Rachel, my name will come up.
Oh, okay.
And then
include your name in the conversation that I'm writing.
Yes. Right? Well, when you click the name, when the name actually comes up for itself, then in my notifications, it shows differently than if someone replied to something that I posted, let's say.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Tagged, so I know I'm specifically in this conversation.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, it's been great talking to you, Ruth Ann. I am going to mute you real quick, and I'm going to do our little end game and wrap this up. It's been wonderful.
Thank you so much to everyone.
Thank you. I really appreciate your time today. Okay, guys, we are getting ready to wrap up, but I wanted to let everybody know that it's Greg's birthday this week. You thought I'd forget, but I did not forget, Greg. I did not forget. So,
sing?
Yeah, we can definitely sing.
No. You don't want to hear me sing.
I'll hear you sing.
No, don't make me sing.
But yes, everybody, it is Greg's birthday. So if you see him around Facebook land, please feel free to tell him happy birthday this week. And other than that, thanks for joining us. This is Rachel Youngson from useplr.com and wholefoodplr.com. This was our PLR Power Hour. I will see you guys in the group. You're more than welcome, Greg. Happy birthday. Bye, everybody.